Welcome to our travel journal. After a few weeks exploring in and around Melbourne, this week we take you to the beautiful island of Tasmania. Join us as we hike through the World Heritage listed Cradle Mountain National Park, encounter wombats, meet the iconic Tasmanian Devils, and learn about the elusive quolls. Let's dive into the natural wonders of Tasmania together. Have you ever heard of Tasmania? It's an island state of Australia, located about 240 kilometers or 150 miles south of the Australian mainland. While you can take the ferry, we flew from Melbourne and the flight took just about an hour and 15 minutes. We landed in Hobart, the capital and largest city in Tasmania. Although we only stayed briefly, we immediately noticed its Scandinavian-like charm and thought it would be worth a longer visit. However, our main focus was the island's stunning nature, so we had accommodation booked further inland.
Interview number 2.
Or 3, I don't know. We just stopped at the general store here in, I don't know.
Osaka.
No. Miena, I think it's called. Miena in Tasmania. And it's freezing cold. It's actually snowing right now. Yeah. It was really just a tiny little general store, that's what they call it here. It's more like was heißt eine Tankstelle?
Like a gas station.
Like a gas station, petrol station. And they have a few groceries. We just got some steak and noodles for tonight or this afternoon, and then something to eat for tomorrow. Some soup that hopefully will get us warm again, because tomorrow the forecast is not that much better than today. But nevertheless, we do hope it won't snow later on. They said sun should be shining at some point. And we have another, I think, 1 hour to go until we are in our accommodation. So yeah, we still have hope. Tasmania. Oh, and the wind is really cold. So the family is already going back to the car. Over there. I wanted the kids to get some movement. Booked a cottage via Airbnb near Mount Roland, complete with a traditional fireplace, which allowed us to imagine what life must have been like in the old days. It was quite cold at night, but once we started a fire, it became nice and cozy. our yard, we found breathtaking forests and mountains. The Mount Roland area is a hiker's paradise, offering trails that wind through dense eucalyptus forests and up rugged mountain slopes. In case you ever come here for hiking, keep an eye out for local wildlife, including wallabies and a variety of bird species. The fresh mountain air and the serene natural beauty make every step an unforgettable adventure. One day, after returning from a hike, we found a cat sitting at the front door, much to Lila's delight. We let her in, and she happily cuddled up with us. Then came the day we've most anticipated, our visit to Cradle Mountain National Park. Known for its dramatic landscapes and pristine wilderness, this World Heritage listed site is the crown jewel of Tasmania's natural beauty. Waiting for the bus. It's supposed to take us into the national park of Cradle Mountain. It's supposed to run every 10 to 15 minutes. We started our adventure with a hike around Dove Lake. Somehow we talked about Scotland and the monster of Loch Ness, even though we've never been there. And then we thought of New Zealand and Scandinavia because we imagined those places to look somehow similar. Imagine, guys, if you were standing here 20,000 years ago, you would be frozen into a glacier that is about 100 meters big, thick. Tall. High. Incredible, huh? Hast du verstanden, Andy?
Ja.
Also vor 20.000 Jahren und
in sehr vielen Jahren wird dieser See wahrscheinlich schon weg sein, weil das Wasser hier wegfließt, aber dafür wird vielleicht ein neuer See entstehen.
Malik and Emmet pretended to be national park rangers that day. So here they were guiding us and explaining all kinds of things about nature.
Ich sehe sie gerade.
Die gelben Pilze?
Nein, die kann man auch nicht essen. Gelbe Pilze oder auffällige Pilze signalisieren, dass sie giftig sind. Zum Beispiel auf Rot.
After several hours of hiking, the group found its first wombat. Yes. They were very excited.
Wombat! Yeah, right over there. After 1 hour of hiking in this wet weather. The Tasmanian wombat is an integral part of the island's ecosystem. We learned that the common wombat is not considered endangered in Tasmania, but they do face threats from habitat destruction, road accidents, and diseases. So efforts to protect and conserve the population are evident everywhere. Gestern. Ja, es zähle ich mit in der Suppe. And then we visited Cradle Devils, a sanctuary dedicated to the conservation of Tasmanian wildlife. Here, we observed the fascinating Tasmanian Devils, which might be where you've heard of Tasmania from in the first place. We also learned about quolls and other unique marsupials. This sanctuary offers a rare chance to see these incredible creatures up close and understand the vital conservation efforts to protect them.
I can't pick you both up at once anymore. So, like I said, quolls, but they're also related to things like thylacine, numbats. If you've ever heard of these animals, antikynuses, pseudo-antikynuses, baskergales, mulgars, dunnarts, all of these animals. Now, most of those animals that I've mentioned off, by the way, fit into the palm of your hand. So very, very small in general. This is the largest surviving carnivorous marsupial. So that's kind of who they're closely related to. The thylacoleo is also another one, which you probably have never heard of before. If you haven't heard of a thylacoleo, go and have a look. It's pretty awesome. And things like that. So carnivorous marsupial, essentially. Right, now, guys, if you're going to get a bite from a devil, where would you prefer it? Your face or your bum? Probably your bum. It's the same thing for these guys. They use their rear ends as a bit of a shield, and basically they take quite a beating until they eventually get the point, and then they leave her alone. Now, for this reason, if we walk around, we see some of our big boys, and they've got really scarred up back ends. Whoop, there's a hole there. In fact, 5 months, which is really quick considering we start raising them from 2 months. So that's how many months. We've got 3 months of nice cuddles and play, and then after that, they're pretty much done. But I'm just going to wake him up so you can see. We've got 2 girls hiding out underneath the trees here. I'm also going to wake them up a little bit. But I do have treats, so I do make it worth their while. Come on, girls.
Da hinten.
So they're just running underneath compared to the boys. So they do have different lineages. Now, these guys are called eastern quolls because they're, of course, found on the east coast. So historically, they've been found throughout Tasmania, southern to eastern Victoria, right up to eastern New South Wales. They haven't been seen on the mainland, though, since the 60s. They're officially declared extinct on the mainland of Australia. You can now only find them in the wild here in Tasmania, where the numbers are declining here as well. We've lost around about 6% of our population over the last 2 to 3 decades, which is very, very sad. So we only have 10,000 of these guys left. Now, to put that in perspective, obviously 10,000 and declining, eastern quolls here in Tasmania. For our devil, try and bring them around the front for you. He's going to eat some treats back there. This is actually our largest species of quoll as well. So he's about 5 kilos, which is a typical average size for a male. They can reach 7 for boys, and females, again, a bit lighter. They're around about 2 to 3 kilos on average. Now, these guys, again, carnivorous marsupial. They're predominantly scavengers. These guys are actually hunting species, and they do a very, very, very good job of hunting. So ambush predators, they're also climbing. They're semi-arboreal, and that's why they have that nice long tail. It helps you balance. So basically, they're climbing through trees. They wait for something to come in underneath. They'll pounce from above. They'll grab it by the back of their neck with their incredibly powerful jaw, and their second strongest.
Bit of a rascal, definitely a terrible teenager. And so we'll just make sure he's nice and settled, and then you guys can have chats. Very good. Are we good? I think we're good. Now he's a little bit wet, so I apologise. So you can just have a nice little pat. Go for it, just there.
Ich kann sie gerne streichen, Malik.
Perfect.
Nein, du auch.
Just a bit lower down. Amazing. Hold on, guys. Hey, that's me. Stop it, Noah. No. Do you want to? It's not just for kids. So you can hear those cute little noises he's making. So the devils just don't make these hectic, crazy noises. Sometimes I make cute noises. And that noise is a devil who's very content. Yeah. Sounds like an old man snoring, but so Atlas here is actually the youngest devil we have here at the moment, because he was born at the end of our breeding season. So there are some really cool features I love showing people about devils, which you don't normally get to see until you do get up close and personal like these things. One is how soft they are. They're really, really soft. Yeah. I think people think they're going to be really wiry. They do stay soft throughout their lives. It's like if you have a puppy and then a dog. One's a bit more weathered, but they're still really soft. The other cool feature I love showing people is their feet.
I think they look so fun.
You see how there's a leech bolt on them, but okay, so you can see how it's got 5 toes on the front feet. Can you guys see that? And then 4 toes on the back.
Yeah.
And this is a common trait the whole family shares, so not just devils, but quolls have the same thing. Another really cool feature I love showing people is their whiskers. If I hold them up, can you guys see how big, bushy those whiskers are?
Yeah, really long.
So they're not just like around their nose like a dog or cat. It's like every angle of their face.
And you can't really see them from far. It's just really on your way.
So when you get up close and personal, you get to see them. And the reason why they have those whiskers is all similar to dog and cats, part of that sensory system. They have really poor vision. You can see a couple of meters in front of them. So they've got these big bushy whiskers, so not just around the nose, their eyebrows, their back, chin, and even underneath as well. So when they're eating from a carcass, they can actually feel when other devils are invading their personal space. And also they're a burrowing marsupial, so their head fits throughout their lives.
Okay.
And keep growing till 5. And unfortunately, that's why they don't live very long, because their teeth stop growing. So you imagine chomping through carcasses on a daily. You're going to wear down pretty quickly. So you can see that his teeth are still pretty small. He'll have all his teeth by the time he's 1, and then it'll keep growing. So when they do monitoring of wild devils and they're trying to figure out how old they are, they, with us, obviously, we can... They're getting a bit big for this now. All right. This is Zeus. This is Odin. Go for it, guys.
Oh, so soft.
So you can see they're a lot bigger. So you got Atlas there, who's the youngest, born in 2023. These are the oldest, born in 2023. So they're actually born in March. So they're, just had their 12-month birthday. Odin's only about 5.7, and Zeus is actually 6.2 kilos. It's always been that Odin was the big out of the two, and then all of a sudden, just in the last month or so, this little fella has just exploded in size. He's got absolutely huge. You can see different personalities here, can't you? See, Zeus is very happy.
Yeah, he's very calm,
He's snuggling. Odin's like, I want a quick pat, and then he wants to be put down. So we'll put Odin down. He's actually huge. He's already 1.2 kilos. So males can get up to 2 kilos. So I think he's going to easily get that. So we're open. You can see he's nice, happy to hang out with you. So we're going to open the bag. And a nice gentle pat. So you can actually feel he's a lot more kind of fluffier and a lot more thicker coat as well. Oh, so warm. Again, as a pace during a cool day, he's happy to hang out in this pouch as well. So you can see he's not regular or anything. It's actually, we'll keep doing it for pats, guys, because he's happy to be here for now. Now, he is an eastern quoll. Now, eastern quolls are the rarest species of all 3, but he's the rarer colour of all 3 as well. So in the case of eastern quolls, do come in 2 different colours. So his sister is a fawn morph, and she's like a blondie colour, and with him, he's a black morph. So it makes 25% of the population. Now, Billy is very cute as well, but she doesn't sit still.
Okay.
So you see how he's very happy to be here, just hanging out. Billy is like a kid with ADHD, does not sit still. But so she'll be really good fun on our feeding tours when she's older. But at the moment, she's just hanging out with her brother. Now I'm going to open up the bag.
Hello.
Now, another name I do like calling eastern quolls is baby-faced assassins, because they have a Dixie cute on. They look like they can't hurt anything. These guys are fierce predators. So where devils are scavenger with a little bit of predator in the mix, these guys are predator with a little bit of scavenger in the mix. So when these guys, I have seen jump 4 times their body size straight up the air and grab a moth mid-air.
Ooh, wow.
So they're ninjas. And on top of that, there's actually records these guys bringing down prey as big as himself. So he can bring like a small rabbit or something down at the moment. But if he's fully grown, he can take down a fairy penguin.
Wow.
Which is a 1.5 kilo. 4 toes. See that? So it's just how you see a devil had a really long back foot and 4 toes. So do eastern quolls. The difference with spots like quolls is they actually have an extra half digit. So that's because they do like to climb the extra half digit. So apparently Darcy's very tired. Alrighty, guys, we're going to put him back to bed. He's done very, very good. Der riecht ein bisschen.
Das riecht nichts. Wombat.
Alright, so clearly this is a wombat. Clearly not a carnivore. So we do focus on what we do here, our endangered species. I love what we do here. You're going to behave yourself, honey. Is looking after the local wildlife as well. So he was orphaned, and that's why he's with us.
Oh, okay.
If you look at your devils and quolls, they're pretty short-lived. You know, hectic reproduction, grow really quickly, short life. These guys are the opposite, slow growth. They raise one jury over 18 to 24 months. And they can live to about, I reckon, 10 to 15 out of the wild, but the record in captivity is actually 36 years. Wow. So very, very different. Now you can have guys kind of scratch his bum. So his name is Rex. He's about 9 months. Rex. And he's about, I have to weigh him again, but he's about 5 kilos. When he's about 8 kilos, we'll go more hands-off. So he can be hands-on, cute and curly at the moment, spending lots of time with them, playing with them. He's a bit of a menace. Wombats do like to bite.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that's just play. So, but with their mum, they're very tolerant. With us, it hurts a lot. So it's fine at the moment, but he's going to be a bit of a menace when he hits 8 kilos. So we'll go more hands-off. He'll spend more and more time outside. And we've got a bigger enclosure for him to go into. And eventually when he's released, he has to be 18 months and 14 kilos.
Oh.
So do you already know where he's going to be released?
We're not entirely sure. So we're not sure whether he'll stay with us until that point or whether he'll go to another carer and basically they can gear him up. It is always better, if you can, to get him with a friend. And it's not because they're like devils and eastern quolls, they live by themselves, but they have social skills. And how they gain those social skills is generally from interacting with other animals. So he would naturally still be with his mum. He's learning those social skills. She'll be moving around. He'll be by her side and she'll be interacting with other wild wombats. Because he's not doing that, he's basically gaining social skills with us, but not social skills with the wombats. So it is important that he does get that if we can get to him. So potentially we would love to keep him until he hits that right size, but it's what's better for him, not what's better for us.
Yeah, sure.
So we did have another wombat called Mooncake. He got handed in roughly around the same time.
Okay.
But Mooncake, like, she was my wombat. He was raised by my friend Sarah. And with Mooncake, she was bigger. So when he came in, he was like 1.5 kilos. She was already about 3 kilos. So she was like double his size. So we couldn't really buddy them up because of the size difference. So basically what happened with her is that she wasn't good with change. So with him, he's happy to be around other people. We all play with him. He's happy to be, he's lap feeding, as you can tell, he's drinking milk from a bowl. So he's very happy with change. Mooncake was the opposite. She didn't like change. She didn't want to lap feed. She didn't do anything like that. And when I'm staying here 2 nights a week and I'm up here, 4 days a week, it's a lot of change for her. So it was like, what is best for her? So I actually had a friend who takes wombats from 1.5 kilos all the way up to release. And stays, that's called soft release, where she has this big enclosure, she opens the door and just go off, and that's called soft release. It's slowly, so it's like not just sudden change. With him, he could be hard release, where you take him to a certain area, like, this is your house now, and then leave a bit of food and off he goes. That's called hard release. So I reckon he'll be good for that. But with Mooncake, she couldn't be because she's not good with that sudden change. So now she's actually with a carer of mine, and she's got wombat friends she's hanging out with. She's getting geared up to be starting to live outside with her wombat friends, and then she'll be released into that property. And it's a pretty nice property. It's actually right at the north of Tassie, so she's actually got seaside views and everything like that.
Nice.
I do want to extend a massive thank you guys being here. The fact that you've done a tour with me and Gemma means you have actually personally contributed to what we do here at Devils Cradle, and also what we do with these guys, because we're not funded by the government, we're funded by you. So thank you so much, guys. Do you guys have any questions for
Thank you so much. Habt ihr noch irgendwelche Fragen?
Ich glaube nicht.
No, they're okay.
All right, you guys.
Thanks very much.
We had an amazing time at Devil's Cradle, a unique Tasmanian conservation sanctuary, which is very close to the entrance of Cradle Mountain National Park. As you've heard, they don't get sponsorship or anything from the government, but they rely on donations and admission fees. So we will link their website in the description and ask you to support their wonderful work by visiting them, maybe taking part in one of the programs, and/or donating. So that was our time in Tasmania. Did you enjoy all the nature? Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our travel journal. More travel content is coming up next Sunday.